You didn't stop feeling because you healed. You stopped feeling because it hurt too much. The pain didn't go away. You just buried it. Under distractions. Under silence. Under a version of yourself that no longer feels. But she noticed. And that's why she left. You didn't become stronger. You became numb. You used to feel everything. The highs, the lows, the warmth of love, the cold sting of rejection. You were alive once, fully. And then, something broke. Maybe it was her leaving. Maybe it was you watching your father become a ghost of a man. Maybe it was the way no one ever came when you needed them the most. So you shut it off, not all at once. Piece by piece, moment by moment. Every unanswered text, every "I'm fine" when you weren't. Every fake smile you forced because breaking down wasn't an option. And now? Now you sit in silence, not because it brings peace, but because you've forgotten how to scream. People think you're cold, detached, in control, but you're not. You're just numb. You don't cry anymore, not because you're a man, but because the tears dried up years ago. You don't get angry, not because you're calm, but because anger used to mean you cared. This isn't peace. This is paralysis. You thought becoming a man meant shutting it all off. But masculinity isn't numbness. Masculinity is control over the storm, not pretending the storm doesn't exist. And the worst part? She saw it. She saw how the boy who once laughed without fear now speaks in measured tones, sleeps with his phone on silent, looks in the mirror and sees nothing behind his eyes. You didn't lose her because you were weak. You lost her because you stopped feeling, stopped fighting, stopped living, not because you didn't love her, but because you forgot how to. You didn't survive. You froze. You became numb. Because feeling meant facing everything you've been running from. The heartbreak, the rejection, the emptiness that crept in when no one was watching. And so, little by little you traded pain for apathy. But numbness isn't protection. It's decay. You see, she didn't leave because you failed to become alpha. She didn't walk away because you weren't rich enough, tall enough, strong enough. She left because your soul went quiet, because she couldn't feel you anymore. The masculine energy she once admired, grounded, present, alive, became cold, distant, lifeless. You mastered discipline. You hit the gym. You chased the bag. But somewhere in the pursuit of the alpha mindset, you forgot the why. You forgot her. You forgot you. Because no amount of self-improvement means anything if it turns you into a machine. How to be a man? That's the question every broken boy asks. But they're not really asking about muscles or money. They're asking, how do I stop hurting without losing who I am? And the internet answers, be stoic. Be silent, be ruthless, but they never say, feel, heal, speak. So you become what? They told you, silent, stoic, strong, until one day you wake up and you're not heartbroken, you're empty. And that's worse, because pain means you still care. Numbness? It means you gave up. It didn't happen overnight. You didn't just wake up one day and decide to stop feeling. It was slower than that, more silent, more cruel. First, it was the heartbreak, the kind that rips something out of you and never gives it back. The kind that makes your chest feel hollow, like you're breathing but not really alive. You told yourself, never again, never that vulnerable, never that soft. So you built walls. Not boundaries, walls. You buried your voice under sarcasm, your tenderness under training, your wounds under weight plates and work ethic. They called it growth. You called it healing. But deep down, you knew it was something else. It wasn't about becoming better. It was about becoming untouchable. No one could hurt you anymore because no one could reach you. Not your boys. Not your parents. Not even her. And when she tried, when she asked you to open up, to be present, to be real, you didn't even know how. Because when you lock your emotions in a vault for long enough, you forget where you hid the key. So instead, you stayed quiet, and she mistook that for strength. At first. But silence turns into distance. Distance turns into doubt. And doubt turns into goodbye. She left not because you were broken, but because you pretended you weren't. She would have stayed for the struggle. She would have stayed for the real. She couldn't stay for the mask, and when she walked out, it didn't even break you, it just echoed. Because the truth is, you broke before she left. You broke when you convinced yourself that pain made you weak. You broke when you made success your identity. You broke when you replaced connection with conquest. That's the darkness. No one talks about the version of masculinity that tells you to destroy everything soft in you. That says be hard, be cold, be dominant, but never says be honest, be still, be whole. You thought rejection meant failure. You thought solitude meant power. You thought emotion was the enemy, but the enemy was the silence inside your chest. You've been in this room before, alone, phone on airplane mode, notifications dry. Her name's still in your contacts, but your pride won't let you press it. You scroll, you swipe, you pretend to move on, but no message, no gym session, no new girl can fill the space she used to speak into. Because what you miss isn't just her. It's the version of you who still felt something, who still believed, who still tried, and now you wear this numbness like armor. Unbreakable, untouchable, alone. You built this version of yourself thinking it would protect you, but now you're trapped inside it. You became a statue, and statues don't bleed. They don't scream. They don't love. They just stand there, perfect, impressive, dead inside. But listen, this isn't where it ends. Because somewhere in the silence, there's still a voice, faint, but real. A whisper buried beneath the muscle, the pride, the discipline. It says, feel, not to collapse, not to fall apart, but to remember you're still alive. Because being a man doesn't mean being numb. It means standing tall in the fire and letting it shape you, not burn you. It means choosing presence over performance, truth over image, purpose over pride. The world doesn't need more cold men. It needs more whole men. Men who lead with clarity, love with courage, hurt without shame, and heal without fear. So if you feel nothing right now, start there. Sit in the silence. Let it scream. Let it sting. Let it break something open. Because only when it breaks can you rebuild. She stopped texting first, and you didn't even notice. You called it peace. It was neglect. You used to dream. Now you just scroll. You can't remember the last time you looked someone in the eye and actually felt seen. You laugh at things that aren't funny. You say, I'm good, before anyone even asks. You sleep like you're dead because part of you already is. You've been strong for so long. You forgot how to be real. You think no one cares. But the truth is, you stopped letting them, and the worst part? You miss her, but you miss you even more. You became numb to survive, and maybe that was necessary. In a world that chews up softness and spits out silence, You did what you had to do. You hardened, you adapted, you endured, but survival is not living. And numbness is not peace. Peace is earned by facing the parts of you you buried, by looking in the mirror and asking, who am I when I'm not pretending? You don't have to stay here. In this version of yourself that feels nothing, trusts no one, loves no one. You don't have to be another man who dies with a full bank account and an empty heart, because you're not broken. You're just disconnected. Disconnected from your pain, from your purpose, from the boy you once were, the one who felt deeply, loved loudly, and believed in things. He's not gone. He's buried beneath the armor. And the beautiful thing about pain is that it's a door. When you stop running from it, it opens. So walk through it. Feel the weight. Feel the loss. Feel the shame. Let it all hit. Not to drown in it, but to find out what's underneath. Because under the numbness, under the fear, under the fake smiles and cold eyes, there's still a fire. Small, flickering, but real. And it's waiting for you. To come back, to feel again, to become the man you were meant to be, not the one you became just to survive. If this hit you somewhere deep, don't stay silent. Write something. Say something. Let it out in the comments. For you, not for them. Maybe someone will see it, maybe someone will feel it, maybe that someone is still you.